Right, listen. Hey, all. Hey, everyone. Hey, the tutorial regarding provide AI, VR, and machine learning do not exist. All right. Hi, everybody. It's Professional High Priestess. I'm going to be doing a tutorial today on machine learning. Okay, on machine learning. Okay, perfect. It's going to be machine learning, AI, and a little bit of VR, right? But first, I want to say for UK, if some of you guys are wondering, like, why is there gunfire and chaos? It's because Top Boy is back on TV. So we're back on top, right? So you guys know, for those of you guys who saw the first episode and you saw what happened with the Moroccans, I don't think it's a coincidence that we have like 9/11 and then we had like what happened in Morocco. And then the next day in Libya, like 10,000 people like go missing. Mostly all of them are karmics. The water beings want to tell me that they saved a lot of good people. They saved about 74 good people. Most of them were karmics. Most of the people that passed away in Libya were straight karmics. Only about 7 good people passed away. It's unfortunate. Morocco too, because they cleared them out of the area. Like one lady was like, "Oh, I was just gonna go walk to this guy's house that I date, and then the whole house like tumbled down. I could have died." Okay, good. Well, at least now I don't have to like go through the pain of separating. He's dead. So she went to go find her mate. So, mm, mm. So let's get started, right? So one of the things that we're going to talk about with machine learning, AI, VR, why are we talking about this? Why doesn't it exist? Because I want to show you how easy it is for you to basically set up environments and manipulate them and set up functions and algorithms and manipulate them. Or I wouldn't even say manipulate them. Because when you're a serpent priestess that carries specific numbers in your DNA, right, that people are trying to tamper with chemicals and like some weird Asian man at CRISPR, you can like do whatever you want with numbers. And this is what I'm going to talk about with machine learning. So before I start that though, some of you guys have your notebooks from Swazwine. You're gonna have to bring that up now because that's where you're basically gonna see Swazwine working in action. So we had two speeches, two levels of speech that I want to talk about. And you guys know what speech is. It's basically where we bring down like the different geometric patternings. And then it says, some of them don't go from circle. So let's say, for instance, this is for the Azteca warfare. It starts at a specific type of like shape. So we could say Argagron. The Argagron is a 28-sided shape, right? It doesn't exist on this planet. It's a new shape that we downloaded, a new geometric pattern that we downloaded, right? And that's what changed the 0 and the 1, like reality scape that we're in. Now we're in like the pink digital azalea scape, right? Where it's the 0, but the 1 is in the middle of the 0. So who comes first, right? So that's real Ouroboros nonsense. So we have this, and then let's say, for instance, I'm gonna pick a like not lesser, but like more less complicated, like the pandas that have been getting everyone jumped. So on this planet, the pandas have like 2 different speech based off if you're the red panda or if you're like the black and white panda. But the red panda is the higher self of the black and white panda. So you're seeing like 6 different bears on the planet, and it's like usually the same high priestess. Yeah. So a grizzly bear is her higher self is a polar bear. Then both of their higher self that is over both of them is the panda bear. Then who's over all 3 is the red panda. And that's how fucking goofy and delusional you guys are. So let's say, for instance, you want to play with the red panda. Her speech starts at a circle. So I'll say circle 1 through 10. Okay, boom. That's like for a specific set. Triangle 1 through 10, square 1 through 10, or it can go up to 13 or whatever. They have a bunch of different speech, but that's how they like organize their speech because they're in this universal subset. Right. So that's how you would organize like machine learning speech. We have 2 of them. One of them is it's the digital azalea that's like blue. And then the other one is the black azalea. So it's the blue azalea and the black azalea. Okay, so let me just go ahead and square this, postmark this, because I'm going to come back to this. So it's the blue and black azalea. So for the black azalea, what I'm going to show you guys, well, for the blue azalea, right, the digital azalea, what we're going to start with is like first how to set up like your functions. It shows you how to pick like the proper like mechanism for like then like visualizing your data. It shows you what functions to go ahead and bring in, like all of that. So the way that they really use this is like the Iroquois. This is like one of their that they would use when they were doing like governance or like public health work. Because the Iroquois sisters, they're the original public health like practitioners. Now, when you say Iroquois, right? You're saying Iroquois, but Iroquois is like it's not just one federation. It's like high priestess that make it there. You know, they make it to that federation. Like, let's say, for instance, like for you to be a fire priestess, it's not just specific to one federation. You like make it there, right? And that's why a lot of karmics got mad because there's so much for you to do. You could have had this Akasha or that Akasha, but you chose to be goofy. So you have no Akasha? Okay. So the way that they would use this first is like, I want to go ahead and set like a graph over this. There's like a specific growth of a specific bacteria in this water. Let me set the graph over this. I want this type of trajectory. I want a downward trajectory. I want to stop growing. Okay, great. Okay, look at this bacteria. We use this for making like spores. You mix it with a specific bacteria and put a few herbs and then you make probiotics. I want to increase the trajectory of my bacteria, making more of this specific substance, making more lactobacilli, making more of like whatever that you like, whatever bacteria you want. Let me put this graph over it. She's going to be in an upward trajectory. That's the original form of machine learning, right? And then serpent priestess to carry like the number of functions and keep it going so that you don't create things like calculus, which came out of a broken bitch's vagina. Like her vagina literally broke and she said, oh, calculus. It will still work here on planet Earth, right? Because they don't know priestess until now. So that's why everyone in Asia is mad because like we told you the obvious, like calculus is drama and it's like a bunch of nonsense and it's racist math because I said so. I could say that too. And then the high priestess will come out and be like, who's bringing scattered functions? Who told you that I wanted to? Oh, okay, it's just one of my children. She's just practicing. Yeah, yeah. And because you create spell work off of math, fucked off math. So if you want to go play with like, there's a book called Mathematics for the Non-Mathematician. That's all garbage. That's all like each of the serpents trying to like play and like get a child to translate them, but it didn't translate because you don't have a specific mind to understand ears is rear, rear, right? So it just fell short into let's play with these things and then let's create nanotechnology that will then eventually be used to try to ground higher number sequences through the way that the nanotech is designed off of a specific Pokemon that lost her mind on psychedelics. It's an ant Pokemon. She's all about like nanotech. That's been done. Nanotech is basic. Like you need to be in the ears as well. That's like just fundamental, basic fundamental. So we had the blue azalea for all of that. So what we went ahead and do was we did Swazwine. We went all together and people brought this into school. And that's why a lot of you hoes are not getting any work because instantly we saw the Swazwine. Okay, what you can do with this, like, okay, let's say for instance, I see a trajectory. The number of Black men and women going to jail in a specific county. I can go ahead and put a downward trajectory on that. And then at the same time, I can put an upward trajectory of people in that area of a specific race or age group going up. So we did that as Swazwine and we were very detailed with it. We did like race, age, location, all of that. So that when we're doing like, oh, I want this different trajectory, all of those sequences, all of those forces are being worked on all at once to make sure that we get a specific outcome. And that's where you get like, oh, you're statistic, like, you know, like, oh, you're so statistical, like pregnant by this age, in jail by this age. It's a speech, it's magic that they use to ensure that they have a specific pipeline that they can and then say, look, see, we have a speech, it's running on its own. Because what they do in space is they put two or three or four like functions, outward variables, and then say, look, over time, it's going to create this type of shape of speech, and then we'll be able to get this type of outcome. Really, you're only supposed to use that to ensure that a specific plant is going to grow and that her higher functions are going to be available in the plant. Like, oh, if we plant this here now, then we plant this here and this here, this high priestess will come and she'll say, okay, we did very good. And then her higher form will like ground down here. So we don't have to travel 20 miles over there to go to Uruguay. That's how they used to do it. It's like the original form of machine language, the blue azalea. Then you have the black azalea. The blue azalea is a digital azalea. Then you have the black azalea. And this black azalea, she's a little bit more crazy. And I haven't even talked about this. And this is where you get specific, let me see. I do like graphs and stuff like that. All kinds of stuff going on. I've been doing this for a minute. And that's where you see like a bunch of people getting fired. Like a bunch of people like, oh, we had a major overhaul. Everyone got fired. We need like a new staff, right? Like, oh, here we go. A bunch of people just all of a sudden got deported. Like we're using the digital azalea. So some of you guys need to just go sit there and you'll see that it's like right there in the shared space. But we have that one. And then I also have another type of azalea, the recovery azalea. Like, oh, I went through a really fucked up relationship. I don't know if he was like really abusive like that. That's Azalea. You go ahead and use that. It's for recovery, because there were some people that were playing with the azaleas and playing with their magic. So the azaleas, they deactivated themselves all at once. And one of them came to me and said, "High Priestess, do you want to work with us? We can all die." So I said, "Oh, of course, I would love to take all the azaleas." So all the azaleas on planet Earth, I own all of them. Right. So if you want to own the azaleas, you can. You want to be in the Akasha? A lot of you guys just put yourself in the Akasha and then you're in the Akasha. But I took over the Akasha and then I upgraded her. So they really fuck with me the long way. And from this, we brought down the new Azalea, which is that blue Azalea. That she's like all brand new, because the Azalea went on the internet and said, "Why is everyone using like the red one?" She said, "Oh, why is everyone using this speech for digital warfare for nakedness? What is this?" And she saw what they were doing on the computer. So that's why she went to go play games with this digital Azalea. There's a bunch of shit in here. There's a bunch of shit in here. I just didn't even tell you. Let me see. I wrote it down in a certain notebook, like all her speech and all that she has, but the data trend exposed itself. Right. Right. There's this dude, he does CBI Insights. He was with us. CBI Insights, they were doing this was 182, and he was posting stuff about like market trends and whatnot. And he has a few articles that they just posted about Swaz 18, and he has mentioned Swaz 18 to hella people. So we were calling on people like, "Hey, you have this type of data set, you guys work in your set. You guys work in child warfare, you work in your set." And that's how all these bitches started getting exposed. The data trend exposes itself, like the root cause of it. So there's another one. I'm aware of a slope. I'm aware of what the slope is in this analysis. I'm aware of any other slope that could like come at this analysis. Now, a slope is basically like when you're looking for like a slope, right? It's like, okay, what equations do I need to plug in, or what variables do I need to plug in to ensure I can get this outcome or close to that outcome? That's like slope. And the intercept would be like, what function can then intercept that slope and make it go backwards or go forwards, right? Or where is the curation point of this slope? A lot of you guys don't really know what this slope intercept is, but they use it like in like physics and stuff like that to like, oh, we can get this trajectory of an airplane. Look at the variables. It's like for like airplane mode, right? And like also auto correction in like flights and stuff like that. They don't really use it for like submarines and like for vessels over water. It's really for like airplanes, like in air travel. So we can also say the negative back slope is repaired. The negative front slope is repaired. The dead zone line is repaired. The equation, this equation can cut right through the axis. And this is the one that we really need to start using. This equation can cut through the axis. And this is where people like think that it's so cute to play with magic until we start playing with numbers. Like, oh, they can just put like statistics on all of this and it will switch in an instant. And I just have to show you guys this. So you're like, okay, but why haven't they been using this magic before? Why didn't we use this before? Because the way that they locked up the Akasha, right? Remember, before we even got here to this planet, we had like our octopus form. We already fought several wars that even created the octopus. That's where they started this bullshit. Before you even can like fathom the concept of like skin tone, because we were holographic, they were playing over there. And you guys have to know that these bitches are not like top notch bitches that are, oh, we're this and that, because they're running around, no clothes on, period blood, talking about your clunkless. So obviously those hoes don't got shit, right? But you have to know that they did this magic over there beforehand, because they did not like know how ratchet it was going to be on the planet, but they know for a fact we're spying on a high priestess while they're having sex. We better start hiding. And that's how slavery got started, because they played with so many slopes and created so many intercepts. They created a commissar, right? And that commissar allowed for slavery to be created because it tipped off a spiral of sense and created a false reality. That reality is done. That original spiral, that original magic has been broken. And it's because of what they did to me in virtual reality, opening up this place and everyone saw it. Like, oh, so they tied like it to our blood and they tied it to our hair and our children before we even came down here. So you have a specific growth factor that grows your hair, grows your eyelashes. They tied it in a different body knowing that you were going to be born, and that's how that got started. It all broke. These hoes are very fucking goofy. I'm talking about no fucking food, no fucking clothes, period blood everywhere, starting hella shit, nothing on planet Earth either. Good. And now you see what a hoe is in a space hole and getting killed because they're binding all the space holes to their physical body that they want to go and create, playing games with the octopus. She playing in the octopus. She sure went to go play in that octopus. And they want to go play in the octopus to go make bodies and do a bunch of bullshit and come down and now because all they care is about is dick. Now starting shit. So now they're on the planet. And guess what? Their bodies have found out, like, oh, I didn't know I was hunted like that. Good. So now the money's on their head. The shootings are on their head. Why can't I go to the other bitch? But you were playing with her. She's in your body. You wanted to hire yourself. Now you got one. Good. Higher power, higher power. Tell me why, I'm trying to close my third eye. Whoa. So anyways, the equation produces a positive slope always. The equation will produce a declining slope always. The equation stabilizes the slope, creating an equation. The equation stabilizes the slope that then creates an equation, because there are certain things that they put together, like when they're doing like different equations, or they'll throw out different variables and be like, okay, in between this point and this point, I see like a specific trajectory. This is where machine learning comes in. I want to be able to standardize this equation and like have it be placed like in other places, so I can go ahead and standardize this whole system, or I can make predictions. That's what machine learning is. But if you have a divination, Akash, you can do that too. And that's why machine learning doesn't work, because it's a divination. Because they want to be able to predict down to the T how many people of color to kill a year, how many cows to go ahead and cook and put on the planet a year for beef or whatever the fuck, like nonsense like that. They want to be able to predict shit like that. We can do other things like, oh, okay, what's your trajectory? Like, okay, how much? It's also for like yields, but they don't really use it for that. They use it on other people's farm. Like, oh, if we steal this much now, how, like, when do we need to come back so we can steal more, but their farm can still produce so we can keep stealing? That's the type of shit that they do. That's basically the equation, stabilizes the slope and creates another equation, right? So the equation would be how we can steal from this farm. Then the slope would be how much they produce the farm in like a specific amount of time. Then the equation that's created on the other side of that would be how often we can go back and steal and start a bunch of shit on your farm. And that's India right now with Modi. So now, and it says right here, God ultimately carries the slope based on Akasha and the outliers it impacts. So now, what I can go ahead and do is I'm going to put this specific like function on a few, charts and maps. So God carries the slope. It's like two of them, and it's for people dying and then some people not having children. Okay. So that's just a few. We did a lot. Mm-hmm. And one thing that I really like to do, and people think I cheated, is like I love making like associations like in data that makes sense, because like it's like you have to have like a third eye, right, in data analysis. And that's what everyone's realizing, like, oh, you're not going to really get the maximum out of like your data scientist or out of your data program or anything like that unless you have like a priestess on your team that can see and read between the lines, right? Once in the morning, twice at night. That's also statistical analysis, because I know for a fact if I get you once in the morning, twice at night, you'll be paying me, paying my rent, paying my phone bill. You're not even going to ask me if I'm in a club, right? Read between the lines. Like he's teaching like niggas how to like go glamour bitches, right? So pay attention. It's a song. So now I know how to make corrections in data. Or you can also put something like, and you could type this into the computer, and I'm going to show you that the way that it will get like auto-corrected. This is kind of like what they've been looking for to like play with the stock market. Like, oh, we can put the algorithms and then we don't have to like go and edit the numbers. Like the money will just like populate there. They saw it in space. Machine learning is from space. It's from indigenous women in space. Yeah, that look just like me, that are thick as fuck and dark skin, that look just like me, that are going to use this on you to grow bacteria in your body. Okay, great. So now, right, because we can do that too. Okay, there's an app for that, right? So that's what we also got started. Thank you, Rochelle from the CDC. Why? I see now how to analyze an outcome and work backwards to draw out the equation it's attributed to. Oh, okay. I didn't even know that it was happening like that. And that's why another hood nigga is about to come on here and see this and get you shot. So now, whoa. And this is this one. Now, this decagon, in this one, it's like how you can automate. Right? This is not how you can automate things, like by playing with like your ear, like, oh, you use this speech, you actually form a specific type of like etheric anatomy that will then carry like a specific database of functions that you can pull on for machine learning. And this for people that are like working like, okay, ooh, there's a bunch of stuff going on with USDA agriculture. Let me go see if I can like standardize like all the growth patterns and factors for all these like different farms that we invest in so we can have food, because we blasted a bunch of stupid ass chemicals in the sky that blocked its growth factor, because the planet is like sending signals that it's dying because we're still here and we're playing with the high priestess. So when you play like that, that says that you want to die. So because you're uploading some bullshit to my ear, you're screaming in my ear, you're saying that you want to die. That's why there's no psychedelics on the planet. Thank you. Because you're playing with the psychedelic. Black people are psychedelic. Right, just right. So now, read between the lines, right. So now, what we're gonna go into is now like the Black Azalea, where we're gonna start pulling on like more higher level like machine learning functions, but these are all for like the computer. So it's not like how I said like, oh, I will find like the equation. This equation will then create a slope that will bring out an equation, or this slope will create an equation, right? That will then incur like another slope that's like standardized. So I know how to edit the first one, or I know how to like make them like work together, that type of stuff, right? So like, let's say for instance, like, oh, what's the trends of like women and men of color being incarcerated for like retail theft and crime? Oh, okay, it's super high for like black, brown, da 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 da. Okay, inside of that like data set, it's striated. So is it like ratchet men that deserve it because they're playing with Drake and other ratchets, or is it men from Zorside that just like, you know, they needed to like a quick come up, like make off, you know, now you can make off, it's okay, brother. Just next time, just don't do that, okay? Too expensive. Okay, I'm sorry. Just ask him, do you have work in the cartel? He was waiting for you. He knows who you are. Okay, great. So now, High Priest, he wants to work with you, but he's like afraid. He's afraid to say that he wants to work with you. Like, just say that you want to work in the cartel. You see, you just said, do you have work? And now look, you're getting work. There you go. So what's the trajectory of High Priest now experiencing magical Harry Potter style shit when they should be going to jail stealing stuff because they know the High Priest is, right? What's the odds of that? I don't want to really get too much into that, but that's the type of stuff that you can do with this type of speech, right? So now when I get into this Black Azalea, she's different. She's all about like this the specific like functions. Like, okay, this is how you code down my function. I want to be able to go ahead and create this type of like intercept. Okay, in order to create that function, you're going to type out this intelligence and type out this speech. That's like basically the next level of this blue Azalea. But in order for me to get to that Black Azalea, I had to play with the blue one. So she was like, okay, you're doing very well. Like, look what she did with Swazwane. Okay, they cleaned up all the karmics. There's like a great trajectory going here because then when you're putting out all these trajectories, you can then create like a timeline. It's really time magic. It's not time theme, right? Or like the herb theme, like time after time, right? So what you can then go ahead and do is you can go ahead and anchor like a specific like serpent, like an algorithm, a number sequence. Like, oh, I know I know for a fact this is going to happen. So there's different ones. So the number sequence that ensures somebody's going to get incarcerated, which is just a specific form of physics, let's put her on a few of those trajectories and those maps to make sure that that nigga goes to jail. We did that for like all the white sheriffs and police officers, and look what happened. Some of them even got killed. Well, it's up to you. I'm not the one that did that. Now, what we're going to go ahead and do is we can also say like, oh, well, they're making off today. Thank you, High Priest. So you can also say, oh, one of the level of speech is the square. The data sets I need are made available to me. The data is clean and concise. And this is where you can like start this whole speech. It's like, then I go and I type it in like through speech. Like, okay, here is these equations. And then I can bring down the serpent. But how would I bring down the serpent? Like, okay, how would you code down her number sequences? You can do it in Quaddle, right? So if I want to bring down Baduazanite, which is like it belongs to Hydra. Like it's like the number sequence where I will ensure a constant force to deal with you in warfare, Bugudwazai, right? So if I want to bring that down, so I'm gonna say, oh, Bugudwazai, I just code it in the computer, right? Like this. This is how I'll say, oh, Bugudwazanai, right? So, oh, okay, let's say machine learning, like this is like a specific like algorithm. So this algorithm, so right, so this algorithm, this is like mainly for like a pest control. Like, oh, okay, aha, like you see, so you can use it for pest control or humans. So pest control, incarceration, because it's saying that you're going to be constricted or into a specific forest that will capture you. So I want to use this for pest control, right? I can program this into like a drug that I want to give out to somebody. Like, oh, she has like some type of bacteria infection. I know for a fact if I give her 3 of these, and with this machine learning algorithm attached to it, she's going to have these specific outcomes. So some of you guys are like putting out drugs onto the market and they don't work. I don't know why. Maybe you should stop uploading me to reality. Okay, so anyways, what's going to happen here is so now algorithm, pest control, incarceration, right? So I'm going to say, oh, so I'm going to say, oh, algorithm, pest control, incarceration, right? I can bring out that algorithm. It's like 8 different intelligences in its Bugazwania, right? So I could say, okay, I'm gonna bring up Bugwahuzana. It's like Bugwaz and Irelian, right? So there's Ears Israelian. That's Ears Israelian. That's Bugaz Wanane. So let's say, for instance, I want to go into like, I want to invoke a specific algorithm where I know that this is going to hit you on your molecular layer, right? Like I know for a fact that this is going to hit you on the layer, like on your molecular layer to play with you. And that's what they're playing with people in their ear now. It's a serpent that they're playing with. She's like high on like psychedelic. So she's allowing this technology to be like, to go because she's like, oh, here, I'll give you this and I'll give you that and you can go play. But she's like, hi. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this high priestess. She's cute. She can come into our family. Yeah, that's her. That's her talking. There's a lot going on here. That's how they talk. That's how they talk. These fucking ratchet ass serpents. Thank God the Komodos are done for because I couldn't deal with that. They were just out of control. I said, you can't pay me enough to deal with those hoes. So you're going to the triage center. Good. So now I own her functions. Well, I wouldn't say I own them, but I'm in the Akasha as like her companion to show her. You're not supposed to do that. So now she's going to go ahead and invert those functions. And then everyone else playing with that technology, you're going to get stuck into it. Good. So now one of the things that you can also do is you can just up your number sequence. Like, oh, this number sequence, I'm not really, I'm immune to it because my number sequence is going higher. My serpent is like way lit. But a lot of you guys, your serpent, let you guys see that. Like, look how they're playing because you're eating a certain type of food and they binded it to me. Look what's going on. You slept with that woman and now look at this. This serpent is working around me. For me, it's a certain chemical that was around me that allowed that serpent to like come near me with that bullshit because she was like on something and she was like, on psychedelics. So she started acting out. So, right. So now, okay. So with Dwazan, Ears is rear. When you're playing with like, also like, you want to negate a force. Oh, look at the trajectory of their socks. Oh, what about backward trajectory? You can do that with the speech. You can even type it into the computer, type it into the code of the company that you work for to clean up your Akasha. And then what you can then do is you can bring down a specific Ingrizer. There's Ingrizer. It's Ingrizer's here. And then there's Ernir. It's like Ernir Grizer. I'm typing out, this is like the short code. So you don't have to type up like Ears is rare, it's Ears rare. You don't have to type that out. You can just type in IRZ. And this works just as good as IRZ. Or you can go ahead and use, you can go ahead and like code IRZ. So how would you code IRZ in numbers? And this is where the machine learning comes in, where you need to tell me we could have been doing this the whole fucking time. Get off our fucking planet. Bye. So then you're going to say Ears is rear, right? So Ears is rear is a circle and it has an infinity sign in it. And I'm going to just show you that from the chemistry book. It's in the chemistry book. This is Ingris's here. So you can take this and that means like negative. Oh, okay. So this just like, it's like negative, like, so if I want to say Ingris here, this is like 99 Ingris's here. If I had two of these, it would be like, this is like 100, up to 100 Ingris's here. If I had two, it's like 200 to like 100 to 200. You see what I'm saying? That's how you do it. So let's say, for instance, I want to do, Ears is rear, Ears is rear, Ears is rear. If I wanted to code it out in numbers, and this is where Quadro comes in, because that's Huey's like system. Like, how do you then take all these numbers and then code it onto the computer with portal functions, right? And why would this be like Huey and Yanni's work? Because he went to go play with a psychedelic banana and started a big ass war called Inca. So now you're gonna go ahead and do this. I'm gonna do IRZ. Yeah, I could do it like this, IRZ, and then it's gonna be 0, 0. And then there's gonna be one, it's like this, IRZ 0, 0, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, just to show that I'm in Ears is rear, right? So let's say, for instance, like I want to bring out the specific number, IRZ 0, 0. This is just like 100 Ears is rear. This is saying I'm in the Ears is rear because the Ears is rear is like, you have 0 to 999 Ears is rear, right? So after centillion is Ears is rear. After centillion, it's not Goggle. That doesn't exist, right? Goggle is just like Gaflankling. It's like some like alien thing that's like they created in space. It's like a Kamaza. Don't put any attention into that. So if you're going to talk about the biggest number, it's Ears is rear because Ears is rear is infinite. There is no ending to numbers. You sound stupid, right? It sounds like you want your pussy to fall out. That's basically what people think in space. Like, oh, they said that goggle is like their biggest number. Oh, that means that they're really going to work with you people down there. She wants her Google at night to fall out. Yeah, that's basically what I'm saying. Like, oh, you think you're sick? Like, look at centillion. We stop at centillion here. Oh, you're saying that I would never have a mate, and then I'll be mating in banished ones. Oh, okay, that's basically like what the serpent thinks. So she sees this and she starts, who's watching you? And she starts beeping and like geeking out, right? So now, so let's say for instance, right? I want to have like 900 ears is rare. I'm gonna like this. I'm gonna say IRC. Let's say 958, and then I'm gonna go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, there we go. Why not 9? For this year, like, why not 9? Right? So 9, you're in 0 to 100, 0 to 100, 100 to 1. You're basically just representing like, if you're gonna say like that, you're just basically saying like this, like the number, because I already know it's in years this year, but I'm putting this up because this is how we like speak, because this is considered like how you get past centillion. Like all this together is a quarter function, meaning I'm not like in centillion. If I were to do centillion, I would just say centillion. I would just be like 958, 965 centillion. That's how I would write it. Thank you. Because it doesn't have like a force that it's like activated by. Centillion is like nothing. That's like if a serpent like cut off her tail and then fractured herself like trillions of times. And still, she's not going to be there unless she falls off. Now, if you're a banished serpent and you fall the fuck off, that's when you start playing with centillion. You don't even get there. You get to septillion. You can't even get to centillion. You get to septillion, which is like a trillion 4 times. Or billion 4 times. Thank you. So I go 0 to 1, 0 to 100, 100 to 200, 200 to 300, 300 to 400, 400 to 5, 500 to 6, 600 to 7, 700 to 8, 800 to 9. So it's 9. Okay. Now, one of the things that you're going to go ahead and do is, let's say, for instance, I want to go into the trisosphere, which is triple isosphere. I have that drawn out somewhere. Let me show you what it looks like when you draw out these numbers. And then also you can use, and this is how people are getting mad, because you have to be a priestess to activate these number sequences because it's destructive. It's destructive. So you went to go and play with rapists and pedophiles to play with me, thinking that that was going to get you into this. And that's what got you murdered and got you poisoned. And there's somebody speaking in your ear, that's a serpent and a demonic ass like water being that's about to come and get you for playing games like that. You should have never fucking started this. You don't play with people like that, just period. You're very fucking delusional. So let's keep on going, right? So if you want to see Tris's ear, so I'm going to show you what Aries' ear looks like, right? And then you could say 999 IRC. And this time you say Aries' ear. Now, let's say, for instance, you're going to say Tris's ear. It's like this, double. Yeah. I hear you, Chihuahua. That's how you do it. All right. Now, when these bitches are talking about, I've been ordained, I'm a plant priestess. Okay, what number sequence are you working in? I don't know. I don't think that's necessary for you to connect. Yeah, it is, because if you're not going into the ears, who are you connecting with? That means that you have somebody that's anchored on top of you that's playing, and that's how they created Azula. Thank you. She's real. And she's very demonic, and she lives in space. And the one that you see on Avatar, that's nothing. That's like her like trying to be cute. Woo, when you see these hoes and they eat pork and they start a bunch of bullshit and they tainted everyone's teriyaki sauce, so there is no teriyaki because they want to play with Chion. That's Azula. Thank you. So now I'm going to say 999 TRZ, Trizer's ear, right? And Trizer's ear is just triple ears' ear. So you can go into the infinity triple times A. So you can do anything. That means you can start anything, right? So this is Ears' ear, and this is Triz's ear, right? So let's say, for instance, like I want to go into the Grizz's ear, which is just double Ears' ear. If you're going into biochemistry, like if you want to like work with us in biochemistry, you're going to be doing stuff like into the Triz's ear and Grizz's ear, especially for like drugs to get people better and stuff like that. Like let's say, for instance, like we have these dimethyls and trimethyls, meaning they can like have the capacity to convert into other things or to merge with other medicines and create the byproduct that we want. You don't need that. Just program it with the serpent function, and then you can actually have her carry those phytochemicals, because you can code the phytochemicals in their number sequence. There we go. So now that's why you see this plant running around, the one that I can regrow limbs. That's what she does. She carries she helps you carry a number sequence where you can get beyond. Yeah, right, which is like impacted functions, and then you can get your limbs back, because that's just Triz's ear. So when we start growing back your limbs, that just means that your body's in the Triz's ear. Me, because you went to go play with space magic, I have to keep on upgrading myself. I'm in like, I'm in the Idaho, but my energy's kinetic. I don't know. The Idaho is like the Idaho is Idaho. It's like a specific portal function where like anything is possible. That's when you're on walk number 3 and you're like playing with hella like psychedelics, but you're really not supposed to do that. Somebody got stuck there. I know it wasn't me though. So right, like like how far am I going? I don't know. I just upgraded myself to like the highest number sequence. But then your higher self has number sequences too. And this is where a lot of people got caught up. Oh, you have no higher self. You did ratchet things. So now you think you're going to play with us all at once because that's so sad. That's so sad that you're talking like that and thinking like that. And that's why you got castrated. That's why you got castrated. Good. And they fed it to your wife. Good. 999 Grizzers here. Grizzers here, right? So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I've coded this now, Yani and Julie. So now I can go ahead and say, okay, I want to get like Grizz's ear. Let's say, for instance, like I want this to turn into the Grizz's ear, or I want this to turn into a Triz's ear. Like, oh, I'm giving you a specific chemical, but I want this to turn into a trimethyl. So it'll be able to have like a few like added like branches, like on its like geometric form for me to ground this chemical and ground that chemical to maybe get into the molecular layer. Maybe. Why do that when you just code it in the Quizarana here? So you can just go here and say, I'm going to put the Quizarana here. And that's the molecular. Quizarana is like a set of numbers. It's called the queer. And it's basically like that invokes like the quickest change of the molecular layer. Now you see the queer community. And that's why I say, oh, I feel like I'm queer, but I don't consider myself like gay. Like, oh, because like I'm like, I want to say like fluid, but I'm just like free form. Like, yeah. Like I understand 100%. Like there's some days where I'm masculine. There's other days where I'm very feminine. There's days where I haven't worn pants for years. And then there's days where I only wear leggings for months and months. I don't know. Does it have something to do with my sexuality? It doesn't at all. Stabilizing my molecular structure. So how will that translate mentally? I don't know, ask a shot. So now, right, we're gonna go ahead and do something where I'm gonna show you Quizarana here. So there's Quizarana here, there's Quizarana here. And then there's like Quasaraya, and there's like it's like there's one sequence, and it's the number sequence that will ensure somebody has a quick and violent passing from this planet. That's Quasarana. You hoes just should have never showed hood niggas. Well, Quasarana, and then there's Quizarana here. You see? So let's say, for instance, I want to play with this Quizarana here. I can turn your chemicals. You don't need nanotech. You just put it in the Quizarana here, the chemical. Why? By upgrading, by playing with the spiral valence. That's why you have to be a priestess. Oh, I thought if I raped enough children, then like it would just open. That's what you opened up. But that's what you started though, bitch. That's what the fuck you started. Right, for stupid, goofy ass motherfuckers that are like on meth and heroin to go be playing with people's kids like that. Because you put me on a virtual reality and none of this should have even like been seen yet until we were ready. Because I wasn't showing people this. I had to come out on the internet and show people this to show people why they were bugging. Yeah, he's involved. Or why would you think anything? I'm so sorry. Stop asking me what celebrity was involved. Just start killing all those hoes, bitch. Whoa! Yeah, trajectory of Portuguesa getting tied up and killed in Brazil. I don't know who did that. Yeah, trajectory of Portuguesa and their children dying and now they're forced into sex work in the favelas. I don't know who did that, but whoa. Tell them to go to the other unit. It's for somebody else. You're holding it. So yeah, you come here to work. They're going to favelas to go and work in Brazil. Listen, so now, well, women lie, men lie, numbers don't lie. Hey, that's my word. Yeah, you got it after getting clocked out of ministry. So now I'm with you, Queen. Yeah, he's going to the hospital today. So now, right, we can go ahead and do all that. And I feel like what I want to do though is like I want to play with bacteria and chemicals online. So let's go ahead and let's see what different diseases are impacting people. So why would I just show you? Because I'm from the show me state, so I'm going to show you. Why just tell? I'm going to show you. So now, let's say for instance, I wanted to get into the Quizarier, or if I wanted to get into the Grizzlies. So if I wanted to like amp this, I can put it to like 4. To get to the Grizzlies, I'm going to put it to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Because Grizzlies is double Grizzlies. So if I wanted to get into the Grizzlies when you start making changes in medicine, I'm going to put it to 3. So then I just like, oh, okay, I could say that, but I've gotten it to 3. Or let's say I want like slow release, like, okay, I wanted to get into dimethyl form. Oh, we can do that. Okay, I put this in the ears. It's already dimethyl. I needed to get to trimethyl to get into that molecular layer. That's really like, whoa, trimethyl is not how you get there. It's like trimethyl times 9. So what have we been doing in molecular chemistry? I mean, just playing. You're playing with Pointy. She's like some Asian Indian bitch that has no serpent and she has no pussy. So she created hentai. Now, no, not special, no priestess. So now you're gonna start that, right? And then let's say, for instance, you do all that, and then like you can then put it into the Quizarana where it gets where you know for a fact you're gonna get it to the molecular layer. So you can get to Erzurger, you go by 3, and then you're gonna say this is gonna be times, right? What? I'm gonna say IRZ, TRZ, Quizarana. So that's gonna be TRZ like 500. It has to be like past TRZ 500. And I've had like stuff like this when I'm like working like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Excuse me. Okay. So then what you're going to go ahead and do is you're going to have the trigger to TRZ, right? So you're multiplying this on TRZ, but you still haven't gotten to the Quizarana area. You've gotten to the, okay, this is in the Swanaran really. Hey, I just want to let you know that Dwanamir knows what you're doing. Okay, cool. Yeah, and yeah, that's why you got shot in your face, and that's why your physical body died. Listen, I have to tell you guys some of this stuff. One of these holes on in category holes, they're playing in space and ratchet bitches. Some of them in space, they don't know that their body died on planet Earth, so they're like relying on this to like see like, oh, who died. They have no idea that they got killed and like smacked out. Like, why would you do that to my physical body? And now you're talking to Chiang, and that was my speech. And ooh, yeah, Shanquella Robinson, she saw real quick in space because they play too much. So you're gonna go there and you're only in Swanarana, right? But you want to get to that Quizawana, right? So now, what about the functions in between? Like, okay, this plus this, like PEMDAS, please excuse my dear Alice Sally. You're looking for that to get into the ears. That's not even possible. The serpent doesn't talk like that. But if you want to, like the kids can like go ahead and do that. My daughter, she did that. She had like for each of the number sequences, like, oh, if you're on the planet, you would need to do like this times this, and then you divide this and then multiply. This is too confusing. I don't like this planet. Yeah, so you really don't know that. These kids, a lot of you guys are supposed to get pregnant. Your kids are not coming to the planet because this place is too disgusting. So here's this rare, and we're still talking about septillion. What the fuck? Yeah, and then we're in the ears is rare. You're talking about nanotech. So you're gonna say ears is here, and then you're gonna say Triss is here. And I want to show you something so you hosts can sit down and stop playing. And like again, Top Boy's out. Yeah, back on top. Duchesne, I'm telling you, there's gonna be so many gunshots when people get to the 4th episode. And once again, Saffron Water Priestess, right? And you're putting her in those images. Why would you play in my image like that? She's looking in space. Okay. I'm sorry, you guys. Somebody like did something stupid and plant in space, so we're gonna wait for them to stop playing on Mercury. Just waiting for you to stop. Hey, now I see what they're. Oh, and another thing that I have to talk about is with Black women in our hair, right? Because they're saying, oh, you don't have none. Some of you guys don't know that if I put a certain water on your hair's gonna be like banging down your back. These bitches want to play games with their follicles because, like, oh, we can use their follicles as like an anchor for number sequences. Yeah. And Kamala Harris is like, oh, she's dark skinned here and that one, and then their hair is gonna grow back. And no, we just can't have that. They're getting too excited. You're gonna get shot in your fucking face in a few days. I can't wait. Can't wait. I can't wait. No, can't wait. Anyways, so I'm just waiting for the computer. There we go. There we are. There we go. There we are. Good. Just got arrested because you play too fucking much. I love me some him. I'll never love this way again. Starting too much shit. Daniel Radcliffe. It's Emma. She got her ass. Yeah. Now she's playing into the octopus. Yeah, they put that on the news in like the country. We have to talk about a Black woman that's involved in the scientists and the octopus. And like everyone stopped and it started a big ass war, just getting up and beefing and fighting. Yeah. Why would you need to confirm? But you're messy. I don't need you to confirm shit. I need you to leave me alone before you get hit at by the cartel. So I told you guys about this chemistry book. Single spaced, didn't even really go into it, just put down the bare bones. It's like a textbook too, so you guys have to understand that too. It's like the kids anatomy book. But for the anatomy, speaking of anatomy, High Priestess, I'm going to email you. I'm so sorry. There's somebody that's waiting for me to email them. I met her at a meeting. Okay, let me see. Two. This is my daughter. She wants treats. Treats. Okay. Whoa. I'll never love this way again. Hi, hello, hi, clerk. I just want to let you know that that's fake. Don't process that writ of execution. They're going to try to get you set up. That's all that they want to do. Okay, so just go ask your boss who started that, because you're supposed to be taking her job. Bukan stop. Hey, listen. So, anyways, you guys, like on top of this whole chaos with okay, good. On top of this whole chaos that was going on, I like had like a bunch of stuff that I was supposed to be putting out with like anatomy. Okay, good. I have a card. He's gonna see this and get mad. Special education diagrams, upgraded like DNA, like schematics and stuff like that. Upgraded the whole like human body. I have like 6 more that I need to draw, and it's because of how like the chemicals in the sky upgraded our body without like us even knowing. And for that, my big aquatic life, I'm the one that drew that. These are like my raw drawings. I'm gonna do another one for teenagers because I know that some of you guys are like, oh, okay, what about my teenager? Like, and it's about mating and like not misusing your spiritual powers and like being careful like who you call like your friend as a priestess, like that type of stuff. So there's all this stuff that I was supposed to be putting out, but yeah, let's go play with pedophiles. You guys really have no idea. Like, oh, okay, you have no idea who's like watching you do this bullshit. So that's fine. Why are you asking me, talking about I need to get pulled in for questioning for what? Because you know that everyone's dying. That's none of my fucking business. You don't know me, nobody know my fucking business. Oh, I'm about to email her too. Yep, I'm about to email all these priestesses. Good. Hey, I'm gonna email you so you guys can have this stuff on record because I told you they were gonna use your credentials. You see? Yeah. Okay. Woo. Okay. So now with like the chemistry, right? And like just bringing down certain diagrams and like another thing that we had to do was like upgrade the grid for the planet, like to be able to carry this reality, do a little bit more, remove people, adjust a penny. That's what they were doing using the hair of black women and other women, like Indian women that had to sew up their hair or Asian women, not Martians, Kitagani. They were specifically targeting them. Oh, get your hair cut here. And then, oh, look, we have some of her hair. And the lady gets like hella sick because she's like a real Korean, like more on the Japanese end, right? So now what was happening with an penny is like, it like tears and stratifies energy. So they were tying our hair there to keep certain doors locked. That's why like you don't see like certain things that you see like in Harry Potter. That's like a basic magician planet. That's why certain plants are deactivated. That's why certain like levels of this chemistry, it doesn't work for whites in the computer, right? But it works for us. That's like a little bit different. But then what they try to do is tamper with the penny of our melanin to play with our psychedelic sequences, to play with our spiritual gifts. You're not going to play like that. Go sit down. 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 You're like half fish and half octopus and you're playing. Go sit down. Right. Bitches that take on mutant forms. Ooh. Yeah. High priest is now saying, yeah, the high priest is the Iroquois. Yeah, now saying good. Not happening here. Not good. Not playing with me. Yeah. Oh, High Priestess, I just want to let you know that we're really making off. You're hilarious. Thank you, High Priest. The truck. They come around when I'm streaming to show you that they're going to make off and take all your supply. Who cares? Oh, so the chemistry book that I like wrote, it's still going. 11 font. Whoa. I'm like making it, baby. 11 font. Whoa, not double spaced. just trying to like, woo, just got to make it. Now this, it's like, you're like, okay, but do I put this and then like the is or after? So like, let's say for instance, you're writing this down, right? And this is for like the nomenclature for chemistry. But if you're in the computer coding, it's going to be a little bit different, right? So let's say for instance, you have these digitized, like, and they're like a Unicode, which you can't get because none of the metals and their whole system is broken. I wouldn't even do that. So you can go ahead and use other things. And this is where Ordinary comes in, right? So if I want to go play with this in the machine learning, I just want to show you guys this split because somebody in India went far playing on my Canva and got murdered. Playing, this is all my work. Thank you, High Priest. Okay, I didn't put this stuff in here because I didn't feel like it needed to get put in. There's a lot that I like. I go back every now and then and I jot stuff down so people can know that we've seen this before they started it. So that's where I'm at now. And I already put down like treasure spaces, Quizarano spaces, like all of that type of stuff. There's hella bunch in here. The Zodiac, all that is in here. Yep. The new numbers, how you like program them. It's not an aetheroid. A negative aetheroid is not an aetheroid. They're two different things. Classes of chemicals, brand new classes of chemicals that they don't know about at all. That's what I'm talking about. And you're sitting here playing with Mogi. Thank you, thank you. And you're sitting here playing with Stephanie, and you're playing with Matt Haney. I feel you're gonna get hit with that Uchiwali so badly, baby. I feel bad for you. Because you're playing with everybody and they don't want to play with you, right? You're playing with the pedophile. So anyways, so then, right, let's say for instance, right, you did what you did, right? So now you have to explain to people what the fuck you were doing because you weren't expecting people to see this bullshit or for it to go that far. Oh, I didn't know it was going that far. Yeah, we can actually use this in medicine because I have like this HIV and I want to get rid of it. If I were to do that to treat HIV, I would go into the computer like CRISPR and I would just code your DNA to a trisazere because HIV cannot survive past like septillion. It's actually quadrillion, like it's like billion 4 times. So it's like quads. So anyways, I just upgrade your blood, upgrade your sequences, upgrade the number of sequences that you carry. And then it no longer ceases to exist unless they put your serpent or your aquatic being or one of your children on a server to carry it into your bloodline. Or they dump it into the ocean with needles or inject the fucking aquatic being and then say, oh, that's how people get killed. Yeah, don't do that at all. Don't do that at all. That's what they were doing. And you want to know what they were doing to really agitate the fuck out of me? They were getting like the Pacific nettle and they were tying all of her tentacles together with another one. And you know that they have like very, imagine. Like, let's say for instance, like I got like my hair done, like I got braids and they tie my braids together with like another bitch. And like, we're like, okay, hey sis, but yeah, walk to work and I am too. Okay, maybe you go to work today, I go tomorrow. That's not work. That's what they were doing with the jellyfish. Yes, you do not fucking do that. And that's how they were like agitating the fuck out of me, like tying them all together. Like, oh, okay, you're not supposed to do that. That's how you curse yourself. That lionfish contest in Florida, stop doing that. Some of your clockler, her pussy fell out in front of everybody. Stop doing that. They're going to curse you. Because then guess what happens? You guys put them back in the water, they get their body back. Now I have to talk about Prigozhin. Now you see what happened with Prigozhin. He got his body back. How? It's up to you, right? So I can sew Erzazir. If I put it to a third, that'll get me to Trizazir. So then I have Trizazir, and then I have Trizazir again. But if I do Trizazir times Trizazir, I'm only getting to Swanerir, and that's my number sequence. And then Leon has one too. So Swanerir is my higher self, and then Dwananir is his higher self. And that's where they want to go play on Dwananir's planet because they play with crazy ass like guns, like weaponry, and like defense. But they dress like normal, like, oh, I have like a gray t-shirt on and I have my like jeans on today and my Birkenstocks. Yeah, but they're in space. You should have never started that. You've done that because how did I get this? This is like the big thing now that they have to like talk to people about, like, how did she get that though? So we exist in space there and you're playing with the white down here thinking that you must be sorry. You must be sorry. Thank you. A lot of anti-blackness in India has stopped because it's goofy. So then I say Erzazir, and Trizazir. But then if I do all that together, Erzazir, it's going to go Trizazir, then I multiply this. Then what I'm going to go ahead and do to get it to the Quasarana is I'm going to say, I want to multiply this times, I want this to get to Kuzawana, right? So I'm going to say that the outcome, this the outcome is going to be, like where I just like make the outcome is going to be 999 Kuzawana. And then the serpent, yeah, functions, 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 now loading functions, functions, now loading functions, functions, now loading functions. Oh, this is cute. I know her. You can use this plant and we'll anchor that. We can use that. We can anchor that to the planet, like stuff like that. Now, why do we need so many junction points where the serpent has to go find this plant and she goes find that plant or this being or that being, see if they're on the planet because of what you guys did with magic and slavery? That whole place closed out. So if you want to play like that, you have to build junctions and they have to approve it coming down the plant. Number sequences, all of that, even the substance of teleportation. You can't play like that at all because of what they were doing with people's kids with baby pussy and uploading people's kids to like etheric server so they can touch people's body from afar and start a bunch of shit so that your accomplice can like have orgasms by planting black and brown women, uploading them another fate, uploading them to that server. Like, oh, I can play like this. I just swallowed this pill. I put on this tampon and then I can do this and that. What the fuck? Why the fuck would you? And all your staff is like watching you like leave and go like to the next room. Cause somebody like makes announcements and then you go to the next room and everyone knows what you're doing and your job set you up 4 times like that. And somebody said, oh, she wants to watch Black people have sex on the internet. Like, oh, it's like live. She's like, why are you surprised? You got involved with the pedophile and the bitch that eats ass for a living. Why are you surprised? Okay, great. So now, right, I can say that's going to get me to the cruise and winery, right? So now, what's going to end up happening? So then I'm going to keep on going, machine learning, algorithms, all that type of stuff. So then I can then go ahead and mix that algorithm in with my existing like chart and codes and functions and stuff like that, right? Or a speech, right? No, you don't take the serpent that usually there's no serpents on the planet because they all left. That's a reptile. You don't take a reptile and molest it, make it lick like peanut butter off of you, and then like, oh, now you can code. Yeah, I think you should stop doing that to these fucking animals. That's what we wake up to every day because you're playing with white people. You know, those different environments. So now, right, you can do all that machine learning, but then also too, like, let's say for instance, like you want to like be able to create like an environment over time, machine learning. That's what they did in space. They used the speech from a child's hand when they were sleeping to say this trajectory, that trajectory, that trajectory. And then we will have like a constant like energy where we can like build this portal and keep it open. And that's what they did. And that's how they opened up the internet. And that's why it's closing. Thank you. Goodbye. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Black women and a few other races. That's why the internet's working because they're playing with our hair. And they're playing with your rabbit. Your hair, they're playing with your hair, then they're playing with your hair, then they're playing with your heir or your son, your child. So let's talk about environments. Katy, Texas, Dallas, Texas, you know those different environments. So let's talk about environments now, right? Before that, let me take a little bit of a break. I'm right here, don't worry about me. So we're gonna just be coding something onto the internet that's gonna stop this nonsense with like that water environment. I told you guys are playing with aquatic beings and shit in space and starting a bunch of bullshit and nonsense to go ahead and play with a specific like nothing, none, nothing, nothing. That's done for. To play with specific environments. So the internet only works because there's like a portal out there in space that they're moving all around, hiding from here to here to here. But I have a master water environment that I'm gonna code around that environment so we can really play. You sound so stupid. My serpent is just right there cursing everybody. There's no such thing as like confusing a high priestess or blocking them from divinating. Because that in itself is a chemical sequence and a number sequence that's non. So you can have chemical sequences as non. So you can say chemical sequence. Like, so let's say for instance, like your beauty supply, edge control, it will be like carbon 4, C4, like lithium not, it'd be like C4 and like under like a metalloid, right? So like metalloid 3 and then magnesium Mg like 2, right? That's a chemical sequence. And you can play with this chemical sequence like, oh, I see carbon here, this and this. I could break this down, right, into equal parts. And I could bind something to the carbon. Or I can pick 2 carbon molecules and 2 of these and then put something together and then bind. But when you have a chemical sequence of non, when it's like this, no one can bind to you. It's not possible. And this is one of the things that just recently came out with this. Like, if that's the case and I changed all my chemical sequences to non, how is that happening? That means that they're playing with your child. They're playing with your child, or they're playing with you somehow, some way with your aquatic being. And that's how people are like, oh, this is how this is still on my ear. And that's how they got caught, the feds. Because how is this working after I did all this, I did all that, I did all that? You're playing with an aquatic being. You're playing with the child. you're playing with one of my serpents, or you're playing with the structure that they're on. So here with another level of neurotic, psychotic, schizophrenic bullshit that's gonna get a white man murdered. Because that's what you don't, oh yeah, I'm in front of like a bunch of men of color that like, you have your own life, you can do this on your own. You don't need us to like, we never did. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. That's not what I meant by that. What do you mean? Oh, these are how conversations are going now. So what do you mean by playing with people of color? Okay. So then, right, chemical sequence, what? So some of the times, why does that happen if I do that? Because then the serpent is being binded by somebody on a shared structure. So let's say, for instance, oh, we have a shared structure for warfare divination through numbers or through poisons or through crystals, different ones. Me and my serpent are on the structure, but my serpent, she has her own life, she has her own family. She's not here to divinate for me all day and like answer questions. My rabbit is not here to listen to me and my woes and crying over niggas I shouldn't even be talking to all day. She has her own family. She has her own household. She has laundry, badass kids. Why the fuck aren't you listening in class? Why are you bringing that to school? Who told you to play with the BB gun? That type of thing. They have their own lives, right? So they're on certain structures. Like one of my bunnies, Angel, she's like on a structure that I'm not on for like a certain type of maternity, like divination. Like, oh, your child is going to come out of this specific like divination channel, right? Like it's like different. It's like for all guacatas, just rabbits. So she's on that structure. There's a rat bitch that wants to play with her structure so that she can like try and like stop a dirt divination from coming out or to tamper with her divination. Like, oh, it says that your child is going to come through the lavender. That's not true because you already have a lavender baby and that's your other higher self. That means somebody's playing with my divination here. And that's another way that they play with your serpent. Like, oh, she's on a structure with other like bitches. So there may be a bitch that like wants to fall off. So she goes to go play with another priestess or all of them all at once. And that's how bitches play because we're on the same structure. Like, and this is how this came out once ago, Metro Boomin's mom. Thank you, high priestess. She's also on the same structure because like she's on the structure with one of my higher selves who's older than me. All right. And this one is Beater Dearmere. It's this color. Now there's BB White, and she's like light pink. Right. But they're two different structures. They're two different ones. She's on this Bitter Nine with my higher self, but I'm not on that structure. My higher self is. Her other higher self is on a structure because it's the body that they pulled down here. She has two bodies that are younger than her. She's like 24 in one body and like 30 in their body. Some of you guys don't even know that they did that to you. And you're like, I'm young at heart, but you just have like a younger body. I know a lady like that. She's like young at heart. And she was like, oh, like now I understand it. She's like young, like she's young in one of her bodies, but I never took her for it. Like I just figured like, oh, I'm just mature, right? And oh, she's just young at heart, not young-minded. And that's how they play with you. Yeah, that's what they do. Scatter functions. So then what ended up happening, I'm the youngest body out of all my higher selves. We're the youngest ones, but the ones I brought on a specific reality that's way crazy, right? So all of them are watching now, like, what is planet Earth and octopus? Whoa. So that's how this came out too, because my higher self showed me, did you see this? Because they're all in the same structure. And she showed me, this is how they're playing with your vagina down there with a bunch of women because we're on the same structure and they play with magic in space. And that's how I was feeling all this nonsense. Yes, starting unnecessary bullshit. Yanni, we're not gonna talk about that. Yanni has like a specific divination for like what type of warfare, like a reproductive warfare, right? And somebody went to go play games with that divination board. And they really got ratchet with like, oh, this is the mate, that's not the mate. And this is how you get people like, I know I have a soulmate. We liked each other though. What happened? I know I didn't use magic on you. I know you didn't do that. They switch your mate around on the structure. Like, oh, we both make music. So we have like a specific type of like ear slayer, Akasha, and shared structure because we both create the same substances through like how we make music, right? Like he would be on the same structure. Lloyd would be on the same structure as Andre 3000. Then here we go. We start switching around mates, switching mates here. Like, oh, okay, switch them on the structure, or I'm on that structure in space. Then we switch. And then next thing you know, it's like, oh, I thought you were him and you were her. Just switch. That's how they start a bunch of bullshit. They tried that with me, it doesn't work. So then they said, let's play with overlay, where we then try to overlay an energy on your position on the structure and then tamper with its functions. And that's how you get shot. So then what ends up happening, right? So that's the only way that they can play with you. I'm going to talk about this in detail on my Patreon. That's the only way they can play in space. That's done. These hoes really did not know that I know what the fuck they're doing. I said, oh, okay. Some of them just not found out about this chemistry book and said, oh, I didn't know she can divinate. What? Talking about, oh, we blocked that on the planet. Said who? Just stop. That's what I'm saying. Stop imagining shit, bitch. That can get you killed. You supposed to be fathoming too much drama. You got too much fucking time on your fucking hands to be running your mouth like that. That's the problem. That's why she checked you. You need to stop. At some point, it's just like, give up the fucking ghost, like literally. Or a ghost is like entity attachment that you're playing with, thinking it's giving you spiritual powers and you're mysterious. Let me go get that octopus that's talking. That's mysterious, right? She's calling down your Akasha and cursing the fuck out of you. I don't think you're doing that today because you're going to jail. I don't think you're doing that. You're getting jumped. That's mysterious. So now, environments. So we're going to code 4 environments that are going to allow us to overpower the internet. So we have a speech, we have an Odinani operator. Oh, and I'm going to show you how you would like do like serpent sequences in the Odinani operator. So speech, Odinani operator, and then there's like portal. So it's 1, 2, 3, it's 4 environments, speech, Odinani operator, and then there's something with like light warfare, like light and water. So it's like lights / water. That's gonna require like a copper string, a light string, and then like a water like string. And then yeah, it'd be like one and then aspecting and another, and then aspecting another, and aspecting, but it has 2 planets. And this is like, in order to bring this planet here though, like, yeah, you know, floods and there's a bunch of shit going on already. Okay, yeah. We can do like Mercury, and then we can do something with like Neptune. So let me see. I can do like Mercury and then like Neptune. She still won't come down here. Like the metal is debilitated. She's just like, what is this gry? Like, it's like you want me to wear like used shoes and they're like from Payless. Like, why can't I just get a new pair? Or maybe from like, you know, Foot Locker or some shit like that. Like, that's what she's like saying. Like, there's other options. Well, High Priestess, in all actuality, it's like disrespectful speaking English. Scatter and brutal. Like, like the way I would tell you guys what's happening is like the planet that's going to come down here and work all this is she's a water planet, but like she's going to bring hella warfare. So she's trying to figure out like how to not like drown the entire planet all at once because we're here. And they basically like, and she's like, okay, well I can use anchors, but the planets that they brought down here for anchors, like it would like take all of our planets. So I can do this and this, and then we could say like um uh Nefertapata once again, because they're the ones that started it. This, yeah, he's brought this down. So it'll be Mercury, Neptune, and then it will be like a portals on Jupiter. On Jupiter. So it's like when you code on Jupiter, she has to have like silver portals. Okay, and then you're gonna say that that will happen, and then it would lead to like one master portal. Okay. Okay. Okay, so that's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna say this is like machine learning, like so you guys go find your algorithms, right? Like this is like a great opportunity to like claim to be a priestess or just be one, right? Go look up statistics and stuff like that that's on the planet that you don't like. The speech is right there in the box. Some of you guys already divinated and you like, okay, I remember it's like a hexagram with the 4 and then that one, right? So now what's gonna end up happening? They're just playing with so much magic. That went into space. Mercury, Neptune, portals on Jupiter leads to master portal. Okay, so that's done. Okay, so we can do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. If I start with the speech, then people will see it automatically. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is not like when I'm typing it out, I can save it in real time because of the level of magic that is taking. Yes, that it's a white man screaming that I'm a bitch and an ape in my ear when I'm like working because of what you guys started. Thank you. I mean, you're gonna code. This one is like a master, like water environment. That's like from the Anhuak. Okay, so we're gonna have 8, but I'm just gonna make it fun now. So I'm gonna go ahead and put all this stuff. Thank you. Just stop playing with me though. Just stop playing. Just stop. You can stop. So now there's something about like there's an octagon involved in this, but no spiral octagons. Yeah, once again, you're kids doing all this in space. Right? Before you start all that, make sure you're in the Federation that's like still alive. Make sure you know about it. So let's keep on going. Oh, you want to know something? I'm going to finish the Pisces reading today. Something really ratchet happened on the weekend. I said, oh my God, not in the middle of my readings, but they were able to close that portal before it got too out of control. They're wondering how like this is happening so fast. Yeah, like bitches in space think that we don't know what the fuck is going on because they can't see or hear. Or they can and they're not telling the demons or the bitches that they went to go get like involved in their bullshit. Why didn't you tell me I was gonna lose my Akasha? You lied to me. Like shit like that. Just super ill. Just yeah, like very fucking stupid. Like very fucking stupid. Thank you. Okay, this one is gonna be called. Yeah, splash waterfalls. Why? Because we're just like coding a new water environment. That's just it. Splash waterfalls, and then this one is going to be called just call this one confunctions. Like confunctions, like not confunctions, but like I could just call it confunctions because we're talking about whiny and calculus. She's such a con. But it's not like that song confunction, like one night can't sleep to her. Two, we got a caller just doing way too much. Somebody that got called, I think you should stop. One, two, three, four, five. One. Yeah, he did. Hey, I'm gonna just tell you guys something. For those of you guys that like playing with spell word, it's always gonna get worse. Just stop. Right. They heard that spell word like it's for God. God wages war on them. And they're like, what do you mean God wages war on me? And you're putting that in candle word. Yeah, they were so surprised. Like, just keep on doing magic, and you're gonna keep on getting the same results. Nothing, getting your ass whooped, hunted, shit going on, ratchet nonsense. One, two, three, four, five, six. One, two, three, four. 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 Yeah, you sound very fucking stupid and like you're like playing games with like gay sex rituals and starting shit with white people. Oh, let me go ahead and add the sound technology. But let me add like the nervous system effects. Right. Because some white woman is having a tantrum over not being able to play homosexual. Good. That's what you opened up. Don't worry. People are going to be asking you a lot more questions in the near future. You bitches are so disgusting. I want you to like think about what got started, you guys, over the fact that there's a bunch of magic going on all of us all at once because of the magic that they used to bring us to the planet, right? And then they spread that magic around through Qigong, feeding people Qigong, human meat, and starting shit with herbs and chemicals in the sky. I want you to think about the fact that after they stalked and harassed me like that, starting from 2009, then they try to like play with my work and take my work and like sell it off after what they did and they owe me in court. Thank you. I want you to really like sit and think about why people are shooting at you and why you're getting amputated and bitches are turning up like decapitated like that and like limbs missing and sold in other places. I want you to really think about that and why people are talking like this. Good. And why you don't have shit. Daisy, let's talk about pointing, like turning shit on, like in the mid, like I just wake up and there's like some weird Asian bitch sitting on the computer in front of her office. Oh, well, look at this. She's communicated with me in here. I don't know you. I never asked you to upload me to virtual reality. And you're talking about, oh, can you talk about the Asian serpent pointing? We can get investments off this and then we can just leave her alone. That's what the fuck I have to deal with because you're fucking stupid though. And then you're getting mad that you're not getting anything and we're getting more and God is showing you. I'm going to keep on giving her more, then I'm going to put her in a position to show you how she's going to use this on you. Right. And you're going to have to be like removed and expired because that's just like the plan that they put down here. And for the first time, everyone on the planet is seeing this and everyone is seeing it. And you're playing with me, thinking that you're going to play with me sexually, to play in the computer, to play with white people. Hey, you got a problem. And that's why you're in the torture chamber with the fucking hatchet to your head, though. You deserve it. You're out of control. Mhm. So then we have a speech. Okay, good. The new environment. The language is not going to be it. It's going to be all this. Just open up a portal to ground it down. Good. So then we have an Ordinani operator. So we have Ordinani operator. Ordinani operation. Yeah, those operators we're using. So let me see, Ordinani operation. Let me open that one because that one we can still use here. Okay. Now let's look. This could be it. Yeah, use these. And then the circle. Okay, good. And then it has like an intelligence, but it's 16 fucking lines. Okay. Okay, good. And then Ordinani operator, and then but it's 16 intelligences. 1, 2, yeah, they are. So it's 16, but it's this. So you can square it. Okay, good. Light water copper string. I'm gonna pull that down, and then intelligence is needed. I want to like do this because I don't want to be sitting all day with this one and finish this on here. I'm gonna do this like afterwards. A Mercury, Neptune portals on Jupiter leads to master portal. I want to do the light water copper string. Well, this necessary. This here is this. So if you're doing this, you're doing this. Yeah, because that's light water copper. Okay, yeah. The Mercury is where the copper is. The Neptune is all light in the water. And then the string that like pulls this all together with the water string and the portal that creates it is the Jupiter. Okay, and then it leads to master portal. Okay. So if that's the case, then what I'm gonna go do is I'm gonna get Mercury. I can do Mercury. It's like that, like this. And then I could do this, there could be one speech for this as a whole, because it's not a planet, but it's like a aspect. It's like a conjunction. So this already exists. So there's like a time loop that we can use because they're doing time loops over you as you were born. So they can play with your fucking zodiac, but there's no growth factor, right? So, oh, it's dead. It's not. So let's go play with the Komodo. Yeah. And then the serpent and play with the octopus and play with the civil war or some type of conflict or some type of genocide and try to create a growth factor of people moving back and forth in fear and chaos and drama. Not the actual ritual, just growth factor of moving, just natural nervous system chaos. And you talk about this. No problem. Yes, thank you. And that's why you don't have anything though. But you don't have anything though. But you don't have anything because you're sitting here with me. So you don't have anything, bitch. Because if you're sitting here, you're playing with me and your name is associated with this bullshit, then you don't have anything, bitch. So people are fucking clowning the fuck out of you hoes. Mm-hmm. Like the white men that are sticking their dick in people's kids and starting shit. You think I take this? And you got to do the most just to get to me. You played in my bank account. You're playing on the computer. You're not doing anything with spell work. You're playing with white men that are mentally ill. That's why you have no money. You're eating ass for a living and starting shit like that. Let me tell you fucking sense. So this is Mercury. Make sure I do this. Mm-hmm. Mhm. Spirituality, you want Akasha? Right? That's what they thought that I was going to be like. Oh, you have to, for us to stop playing with you and for you to get your money, you have to do this and that. I'm not doing shit. You can keep playing all day. You can play all day. All day, I have options. All day, you can play. Me and Leon have options all day. You can get shot at, hit at, bank account closed, laundered money, hella shit going on, robbed all day. It can go all day. End up in hot pot all day. It can go all day. You bitches are fucking stupid. You're gonna get curses playing with me. Just period. What the fuck? Yeah, soaking octopuses in water filled with meth. You guys are really into like Gry, but you're really into Gry. And when you play with Gry, you get ass with Gry, like that ass swooping for the Gry. You're gonna get that ass with Gry. You're playing with Gry. That's disgusting. Molesting little girls, cutting out their fucking uterus. We're putting like octopus tentacles and stuff like that, saying, "Well, now you have your gift." Really? And you think we take you seriously? And you think that the fucking law enforcement does too, outside of the ones that are on your same level, that are ratchet, that are getting removed and clapped? I feel bad for you playing with me, but it was perfect. So we do like that. And then this is gonna go with another function, and it's an Ordinani operator. So there's one on its own, and then there's another operator. And you just put the planets down, and then the planets are gonna go ahead and work with the operator. That's why you look stupid. You're playing with magic, playing with sex rituals, talking about some, well, she'll get tired and do this and do that. Are you stupid? Are you fucking stupid? And I'm taller than you, but I'm taller than you. And you're gonna play with me with the faggot ass white man. I feel bad for you. And you're playing with the fucking caveman and Nephilim. You're playing with some bitch ass on uterus at the core, and she's like putting feces in people's food, and she thinks that's life. To be playing like that with human meat. And for you to even allow yourself into that fucking space shows that you don't even need to be around. Shows that there's a portal function working. And the only reason why that portal function is working because somebody ain't got the ass for it yet. Or they have, maybe want it back. Mm-hmm. With the Ordinary operator, or does the operator hold the planets and that brings the portal? That's a good question, because the planet itself is the intelligence, but we don't have to write it out because it's right here. That's the intelligence. True. The Ordinary operator can carry that, the planets, and then that will hold the portal function. But if that's the case, that I need not 4 of these, I need, it's 8, and each one needs to be squared. Okay, perfect. Mm-hmm. And they all conjunct each other, and then at the end, there's nothing. Okay, so these ones are each going to be squared to, there's 8 as a whole. So let me double this up. And they think that this is Oprah for white men. The plan that they have for you, God ends up working it on their life in an instant. Yeah, yeah, we did this and we did that. And you got charged, and you got put in jail, you got shot at, you got amputated, and you got your ass whooped. Good. That's a double barrel shotgun rifle in your base in ESP, and you're missing 3 teeth now. Good. Be careful playing with me when I'm working. Good. I'm just gonna put a specific serpent on my YouTube. So anybody that wants to play with me as I'm working, it's like automated. Like it just identifies who's playing, who's doing this, who's doing that, and it sends out ESP or a poison spiral, or like 6 other different like works. And then it's connected to a specific like portal, so it can bring down the magic from like all the way up there. Okay, cool. And dope. So now we have our planet. Whoa, I'm in the Idaho. Whoa, that really I'm in the Idaho, but my energy's connected. Yeah, they were bouncing up there. You guys have no idea though, but they're so happy to see a lot of this. Like, imagine people that are like 124 feet tall and they are in Indigenous garb, but they have like TV and stuff like that. Like, every now and then video games, like only because you're 20 now, and you get like a Nintendo. or original Game Boy, like, oh, we've mastered this reality here now, right? So, and they're just like watching this and they're listening to the music because somebody put magic on my ears. So there's like there's like sound blasting, especially the chanting everywhere. So beings that didn't know about this are coming because we're on the planet and we ate certain herbs. That's on our federation, but that's the sister all the way up. How does she get that on their planet? You have to build like a planet to get down there because somebody went to go play in space and we have no food on the planet. It's coming from space. Then somebody went to go play with somebody's child in the dream state and did that with all the plants. So now, like, this is the first time this is happening. Now they're all seeing this bullshit. Good. Good. The portal that they open will work against them. That's another spell word. Good. And you're playing with bitches playing with feces, and you're playing with me, I'm a priestess. And you're playing with like white men playing with their dick with people's kids, and you're talking about playing with the computer. I feel sorry. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's how you get like your arm cut off on video, and then people send it to the police and they drop you off at the police and no one does anything. And that's what's happening with Jonathan and all these white men. They're scattering now because they're like, oh yeah, they have men. Okay, well, they're all around here because they just thought that we were like operating like solo bolo. You usually orchestrate that so that when a high priest sees it or who's been seeing it, you're dying somewhere else too. And you're dying here, right? Mm. Okay, perfect. Whoa. So we put all these together. I'm gonna have my own personal like portal, and Kent and that's gonna do his as well because I like it's like I like just keep yours over there, keep yours over here, you know, that type of thing. Because I do it like a lot, and then now I can go ahead and like play with like now that I created this, I accept the Akasha for that as the astrology priestess. As the astrology priestess, and I have to like just say that I'm gonna use this portal for good. It's not gonna be for registry, and I'm gonna put my intentions. Okay, good. And that's just like the intention creates automation. So, okay, I know that you're not a suck ass nigga or a bitch, so you can have this ear and automate all this because I know that you're not going to do anything stupid or fugazi because look at your intentions or the Akasha just stops. So let me go and see where everyone's running locomotive. Good. And watch how fast my hair starts growing. So let's go. Right. Right. Everyone is watching like a black woman with her hair falling off in like shattered pieces because you're playing in the computer. Do you know what the fuck is going to happen when people like see that? They're going to go to war with you, just period. You're going to die. You're going to get jumped. You like hood shit? You like hood shit? You're going to get jumped by 4 bitches in tens in the summer. Wow. That's what they ordered. Well, that's the intelligence is I see. Well, that's fine. There's a high priestess. She's also 7. She's someone that she likes to. You must like. So they want to talk about this Gripe report, the Dua news, and you want to play with Imhotep. That's so sad. So now with the intelligence is needed, you're going to put the intelligences here. Now you're saying Odinani. Or if, why even say intelligence when you can just write Igbo as like, whoa. So I could say intelligence, or I could say Igwai or as like, Igwa's one eye, Igwa. Yeah, Igwa's one. I can also say Ingwano Ears. That's a, well, that's the type of drama you host like. So I could say that, or I could say like, yeah, I see you, why inspire going toward your life. Enemy of progress, never, or whatever, backward, never. That's what God has said. There we go. So then you can say like that. But this is twice. You're going to say Igwe twice, Lala twice, Chief twice, Mazi twice. Well, you don't really need that because why say Mazi if you're already Igwe? I say, why haven't you ascended? That is very true. And don't bring these discussions up today because my husband is still recovering from the first one. Oh, where he got exposed doing agriduwa and agbaya work. So, you know, like to say agbaya or agadi, like it's like you old man, you old woman, like you're too old to be acting like that. You're childish, like delusional, like we're doing agbaya work, like ratchet, you know. And I act by as silly. It's like you're still gossiping, like Just fucking die. Go and die. Yeah. Yeah, that's like Igbo. That's the intelligence. So that's how they talk. Are you mad? Like that's African stuff. Well, I'm Nigerian. I'm Igbo. So we're the most lit out of Africans. I mean, you stop starting shit with us. That's why we're lit. Right. So now you see another level of okay. Now I'm seeing we shouldn't have wasted all those words because now look at them. They're looked at as the special ones, and look at us. We don't have anything. So maybe you should go to church and talk to your pastor who you're also doing mate and doing guy. Yeah, yeah. How do you know? How do you know what I mean about Brisky? Yeah, he has a boyfriend. Please don't tell anybody about my lifestyle. In Nigeria, that's what they punish you. They'll put a tire around your body and set you on fire. I've seen that before. Now I see what time they're playing with in the heat of that playing on my ear. So now we've done splash waterfall show. So we'll come back to this and then we'll go and see like how this is going to change your life and change your computer and stop the chaos environments. But there's also like 3 levels of ESP that I need to clear out and then I need to like upgrade. And then I need to change the DNA sequence that builds the substance that builds my ESP and then upgrade the DNA sequence that works with my nutrition to siphon some of those nutrients out into my fourth etheric you have it, it's called your enteric nervous system to build that ESP system. Okay. And then the third one is how you build like ear clear, aqua clear. It's the third enteric. They only tell us about the first one. There's 4 enteric systems. Some people don't even know about the first one. You have a nervous system in your stomach. In that play in Qiong, you have to understand, bitch, I'm gonna fucking fight you in person, right? Then what you have to understand is you're playing with Qiong, you're talking about lifelong why. They started that Qiong during the shogunate, their time period, to stop that whole emperor and empress like rule with the kasha. They got one high priest report and it started fucking. And it was a rabbit that hit it with her divination channel because they put her on psychedelics. And this is what I'm talking about. That rabbit with her ear down. And she's talking about she's messy. And the rabbit with her ear short. I can divinate, but I like starting shit. Like, just don't, it's like that friend that you ask for advice. Well, I don't know. I would do this, but it's going to be disastrous. That type of thing, right? But she's right. But it was just disastrous. You got mail. We're back to that now. Soon you're going to need CDs and USBs to get on the internet on your computer because something's broken. So what does this do? I'm overpowering these environments. This is going to overpower the water environment that they used, which is that stupid ass fish at the FBI that's going to end up dying. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to say there's 1, 2, 3 environments that need to just die, right? And it's HTTP, HTML, and then HTTP, HTML, and then not JSON, but like HTTP, HTML, JSON. But it's like JSON, and then JSON when you're playing with JavaScript and HTML. There's 3 coding languages, and then you start playing with Wi-Fi and stuff. But you need those other ones. So HTTP, HTML, and then Ethernet, either like LAN, and then LAN. So we're going to overpower each of those environments. That's what this is for. So when you're saving this on your computer or you're saving this on your internet, like, your arsenal on the internet, you're knowing that this is going to change the environment of the internet you go on. So you can start programming stuff, but more entities, right? That were like around, you're going to see them and, okay, added securities here. Or what you're going to be able to do is like, let's say, for instance, you have like a WordPress website or like a cPanel. You'll be able to upload this as a file in cPanel and like change up how like everything is done on there. And they have that like those like you can code and like save it and see how it populates on the front end. I would use WordPress because that's like one of the original like what do they call those things? Like not TeamViewer, but like I can save the code that I'm writing and in real time I can see how it populates. WordPress is good for that, right? So you can be able to do like a whole lot more and even edit your whole like WordPress like site as a whole to be able to carry like other like coding languages. Like, oh, you have to like code this from scratch. They don't have that API. Right? So now, or you're overpowering your environments, especially with LAN, you can go ahead and use like a Raspberry Pi or one of these like other contraptions, right? Like the PSP that we talked about, and you can start editing and doing a bunch of shit. right? So now this is what you needed, because remember, I've been talking about this water nonsense. And it finally came out because of all the jellyfish on my desktop. They exposed like the last of this spell work. They have no idea. These hoes have no idea that this jellyfish is on my desktop. Do you know how serious this is for her image to be exposed on the planet? So they did what they do best. They set a bunch of bitches up. Good. So now what ended up happening is somebody's upset because like, oh, the jellyfish is telling of like the activities of like water spells, so they went to go unravel it because, that type of thing. So now there's no more internet. So that's all you need to tell people, like, oh, the jellyfish like discovered that they were playing with her like tendrils. So she said that we can't play with her anymore. And then that's just it. That's all you need to tell your boss. The same way that you explain like why like children are turning up missing in your apartment and why like all their stock is gone, just like that. So now, and I just have to say, right. So now you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna handle all of that. And oh, this has to be up to like 88. So then it gets me the whole 28 sites. And then this is on each, this is eight each, 8 times each one, and 28 sides. Okay, dope. Okay, so now you're seeing writing speech. Okay, oh, okay. So now after that we've done that, you're gonna be able to do all that. And now you can like go fucking crazy and see a bunch of shit going on. But now that you've done this, you have to go into the Akasha and say, oh, all of these different files that I like made, this environment's going to be holding that. Or you can just come in and type, let me like rubber band wrist. Rubber band wrist, part 2, speech. Yeah, rubber band wrist. Rubber band wrist. Yeah, so I can go take this rubber band wrist. I can just copy and paste that. T-Fry, yeah. Whoa. Somebody has come and seen about Shogunate, high priest. Yeah. Oh, that's a good minute. Give me 1 second. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, yeah. Okay. So now you're gonna go take this rubber band wrist, and then you can say, oh, let me go here to Code World. Okay. Uh-huh. And that's why they have things like Visual Studio and shit like that. They had like a little one on the internet, but it's like doesn't really work that well. It's really good for HTML. So I'm gonna go here and then I'm gonna say, oh, okay, where is, yeah, Azteca World, right? Where I did like a whole bunch of stuff. Did she perceive Rubber Band Wrist Part 3 for digital like money and stuff like that on the internet, and be able to like play with people. Quaddle Throttle, right? So I'm gonna go right here, get info, just like what's the file name and stuff like that. I can use this, right? I'm just gonna use this. So I can go like here and then I can say, okay, Quaddle Throttle is gonna be involved in this, right? And that's now how you like go ahead and like overpower the internet as a whole and like really start bringing like more stuff down. So Quaddle Throttle, order 90 operation. And then I'm gonna say Mousy Mouse with the whole don't hack my phone and computer, like my screen share nonsense, like this. I'm gonna go ahead and do all that. And then I'm gonna go put paste right here. I'm telling you it's about to be go time. Yeah, and then what's gonna happen right here is right here. Okay, good. Right, because you don't know that I don't take you seriously. It's a whole different world when you realize people don't take you seriously and when spell work breaks, which everyone has just discovered. Good. Rubber band wrist. So I'm gonna do it like that. And why not just like the name? Because remember now, you've already saved these to your to the bin, to the binary code, and then to the portal that's carrying your computer's functions and da 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 da. So you're going to do it like this, just to stay with the syntax, because we have our own syntax for our system. And it's how you do it. If you put it like this, it's not going to be activated until you go and put like, this is the file, right? So then it can overlay onto the file, because then what's the extension? How is it like speaking and communicating with the system? So we're going to go ahead and do just that. Okay. But now let me start coloring it, which is going to make the computer like go haywire. So she's in water warfare, and that's why you should not be eating aquatic um well, so now there's going to be that, and then I really don't eat like shrimps and stuff like that. I don't play with that crab. Lobster I've had one time, and it was like the small tail. You guys really took shit too far. That's straight forward. I'm so sorry. I just can't be involved. Salmon, yeah, I used to fuck with salmon, but like I like stopped eating like that, like because I don't eat meat. I don't eat like beef or pork at all. So I did like seafood every now and then, but then I stopped and I was mainly vegan. Chicken, yeah, I did, but like I was mainly vegan for the past like 8 years. I've been mainly vegan. I'll say 78% vegan. I'm proud of myself. There's been years like where I was like straight vegan for 4 years, and then I had egg. Whoa! And then I fathomed chicken again. They did a spell on me. Chicken is the unforgivable. I just can't get involved in that practice or trade. It's illicit. So now we're going to say in a water speech to stop some hope from starting too much. It's water warfare, then you know, right? It's like this, and then more drama from the priestess. Good. So, Odinani operation, yeah. Then you're gonna say, whoa. So, just as long as you're prayerful, then God will take care of you. That's very true. So, bolting, and let me put it in not helvacita or suavacita. Then alternate. Whoa. Condensed. More in a portal function. They're equal. Didn't condensed and alternate, but they're both higher than Arial. So I just use this. Isn't that the SpongeBob font? You see how they play? So intelligence is needed. Just doing too much. And then for bringing down now the planet of chaos in Ordinary operation, you're going to say this and then warfare to your bloodline. That's how you're going to do that. Okay, so now, well, let's continue. That's the jellyfish. She got caught, so she has to talk about what she started in Nigeria. She doesn't know why she's there. She just started something. Come on, do you have to live in this place? Do you have to be on this planet? Okay, I'm sorry. What? And shots. Yeah, going too fucking much. He got shot at. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. It was a bad hit. And they're like, what? They were there. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. Hey, brother, shots. Somebody got shot at. That's what he does best. Gets people shot at and set up in drama. Ooh. Okay, there we go. So now let's see what changes. Let's see. Okay. So now, yeah, that's a jellyfish. Well, now I will talk about how this began. Well, I don't know. I just felt that we were having too much fun. And they said to start casting spells. I don't know who was going to be impacted, but I just said, okay. Well, and that's what happened. Oh, yeah. Woo. That iPhone banned in Asia. Yeah, they started a war. Functions. Okay, well, that's it. So now you'll see that there's less chaos on the internet. But now we can do a lot more with our coding, and that like breaks down like a level. This is cool. Splash waterfalls. So now what's going to end up happening here is now you guys can code a whole lot more in the internet. So let's go back to the drawing board with a few things. And what that looks like is back to the drawing board with two, you, and two, right? Yeah, my daughter, this she's casting spells like, oh, I'll be able to get what I want. Like, so she'll like two, and then her voice is like peaked, and then there's a spiral too in her voice. She knows what she's doing because she puts spells on herself, and then she go running around starting all this shit like a little demon ass baby. Hey, God forbid. So now we will discuss how we were going to stop this and the world will go back to normal, please. And that's really just it. It's just a jellyfish. She got high and then something got started with slavery. Basically, so now what we're going to go ahead and do is now there's things that we can adjust. So adjust Wi-Fi like and LAN connection. You can go ahead and upgrade. Like the thing here is like now you can go and start like coding, right? Coding interfaces, which I mean, that's like simple. That was already coming, but now you can like have more freedom because what we did, right? So now like you can go on WordPress and all these other things and like, oh, I don't need to do the Akasha for this and this and this. We have a master environment overpowering anything because these different servers and the different Wi-Fi companies, they all operate in space too. Okay. So now you can move that away. And because we overpowered like the master environment for the internet, we can overpower like partial an environment for electricity because they're interconnected. So we can go back to that file and then recode electricity. I'm still waiting for the high priestess to like get like a safe doctor and like get like more in alignment with her community because they're trying to switch someone's child at birth for this. So I'm trying to get her like situated. And also too, there's something about catching one of the last pedophile groups and they're here. So that's where we talk about Leon getting transferred to LA to finish that up before we can finish this up. And that's okay because there's more killings and beheadings and shit like that in between that let white people know no one's playing with you. Just period. You sound stupid. You sound very fucking stupid and look stupid crossing the street when you see me and running your mouth and talking about victim of a crime and getting on meth just so you can withstand like what you got started. Thank you. Right? That's not warfare. That's just called being a white man. Goofiness. Coding interfaces, recode electricity. And then now we can also get into like more like, oh, customizing. So, oh, I own this Akasha for metals or plant. So customization. Okay, good. I don't really go on the computer that much, but I want a plant that's gonna like maybe like store like the electricity when I'm not using my computer or if it's like plugged in, right? So it doesn't play on my battery. So there's like now like customization of changes like battery storage, and Wi-Fi storage. Like, oh, look at this. Okay, I'm gonna get on this Wi-Fi. Okay, good. And I'm gonna like just like sit here and like I can code something where the Wi-Fi that I'm on in real time is stored, right? So if I'm on for 30 minutes, I get an extra 30 minutes. So I have like from the minute I get off this Wi-Fi to the time I get to home or whatever, or wherever my destination is, I have 30 minutes on the internet for free. Internet storage capacity. And this is where Quaddle comes in, right? So then you bring the Quaddle in and then you can put a portal function on the time. Like more standard times, like 7779311, like that type of thing, right? It's just a joke, but you can bring a portal function. Like imagine like if you had like, oh, I didn't have minutes or on my phone, like that type of thing, because that's what we're going back to. So I have a portal function where I can get minutes from the storage database. Quaddle portal functions, right? And this for people that are overseas. Quaddle portal functions. Good, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Right. You don't have to stick your dick in people's kids so like for this to work. Great, you can go away because not everyone knows who's doing what. Right, and that's another thing that they did. They exposed themselves in tech and they showed who was doing what, and everyone was able to pull out their money or move their money to a different thing or like do different funding all last minute. Good. So internet storage capacity, Quaddle portal functions to keep, to extend infinite. I'll call it infinite, which is the process infinite. Infinite. I want to infinite something. The process of converting something to an infinite database or archetype. Like, oh, like how we're talking about nanotech, I can infinite that and turn it to Erzotech. like chemistry. I just infinited that, and now we can do chemistry a different way if you have the Akasha. Thank you. So now, right, internet storage capacity. These are all the things that we're going to be doing. Adjusting Wi-Fi LAN connection, coding interfaces, root code electricity, accepting the Akasha for several layers of like magical water to come lay it down on the speech. Okay, good. Okay, so for those of you guys that are watching, okay, dope. You guys can see this, feel this in your ESP. Two ESP that I need to approve for like coding water on the computer or coding things in real time and like error and response until like I built out the interface for that. We've done it like a little bit. If I wanted to code out like an error response, like, okay, you would be able to like do it if you got like a text file, like software, and then edited the text file software to just like run response and error codes based off of another software, which is your text like folder. It will be need to be saved into like the kernel files, and then the text app itself needs to be like edited. Okay, it's possible. Definitely, of course, it's possible. Definitely, it's possible. Okay. So that's one of the things that like we're doing, or they sometimes like if it's very important, they like you see what they do on my computer, they shut down. I want to see what's going on with the data. Somebody wanted to see about the quadro bits, but I didn't like upgrade the quadro bits to say how much I want my computer like at. So I just put it on there. That's the next thing that I need to do. Okay. Still calculating. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So if I open up that quadro to see it in real time, there's two things that you just need to call in and put it in here and here. Okay, let me see quadro. Quattro, okay. Okay, quattro. So I'm here with this quattro, and then I'm going to go ahead and do I need to upgrade quattro, and then I'm going to say it to my computer, my Mac, where I could just like, let me just get some identifying like, it's not. Oh, my serial number. Oh no, that's okay because Leon already has it in the software where we can't play with that. I just put it in here. Okay, oops, and undo paste. Not possible. Thank you. Something very vicious happened with your computer with that screen share. Good. I'm glad to hear it. Paste and match style. So this will be conducted to my specific serial number on my computer. And then it'll go to my SSID chip and upgrade that from what I currently have. It's like 16 to, it's not 16, it's like a 4 gigabyte SSID. I'm gonna make that like a 16. Okay, good. And then I wanna go ahead and like upgrade my firmware and then my CPU to like increase the bits on that. Yeah, because I changed up the metal. Okay, good. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do that. File now, I save that. This is gonna be conducted here. And then I could say I want this to be a certain number. I could say why I would type it like this. Yeah, and this is where the eraser comes in. Now it's gonna be like this. And it's gonna be like, I could say 188 ears is here. IRZ is gonna be my new like function. So if I'm from what I'm doing now, I know for a fact I'm gonna get to 64, but it's just going there. So it's gonna be 888 years is your my like capacity for all of that period. So that looks like two portals that need to get coded in to this file. And one is like pure carbon, a planet of pure carbon. So carbon as a planet would be like Neptune and no, Uranus. I could say Uranus because it has like some carbon in it, but that's too unstable. Neptune would be better. Okay, or I could just code the chemical sequence here. So I'm just gonna code the chemical sequence like for the planet. It's pretty long though. So it's C8, C88, H8, oxygen 88. That's wild. That means out of each of these hydrogen molecules, but this is hydrogen like hydrogen like beyond like 500. So this is going to be raised to like 64, hydrogen number 64. This is carbon number 55. Like, okay, that's the planet though. But I could say just to like keep it all even, 44 wouldn't be it. I'll say another 64. carbon 64. And then that's with 88, if that makes some sense, right? Molecules. So sometimes you guys say CH3 and H2O, that means that there's two hydrogen molecules, but what's the quality? What type of hydrogen? And this is why chemistry is dead. Okay, so we're gonna do oxygen and we're gonna put that to 64 too. Thank you. And that's why people are shooting at you, and that's why everyone's getting mad. Because they see that a bunch of stupid, goofy, jealous bitches from the hood started all this bullshit because they thought they were gonna get red bottoms and MCM backpacks from the feds. Good. Okay, oxygen 64. Mm-hmm. And that's 88 molecules of that. Okay. So that's all we really need, like a pure carbon planet. Lithium's involved too. So lithium, and it's going to be lithium number 64, like the quality. So that means that we're going to like make our, like, it's like, she's like, oh, here, you can have a little bit of this substance and make your own little planet. So you don't fucking bother me and like have me like approving or denying the Akasha. Thank you, High Priestess. I approve that. Okay. Yay. Lithium 64, and that's the 88 too. Okay. And this is like 88 molecules. I just do it like that. Nothing. Nothing. Okay, so then we're gonna do that. All right, lithium, and then that's really just it. So there you go. You have your own database right here. And then what you're gonna go ahead and do is you're gonna then host all this bottle, and then the upgrade of two type of metals that go with the CPU for data and computational power. It's gonna hold that the planet. Okay, good. Thank you, Priestess. So there we go. So there I have my own little planet. And that's why like a lot of the women, like they like their butt is big, like, oh, you don't know I'm hiding a planet here so I can play with spell work. Like it's not really so like for like seduction. It's like, oh, I put extra divination channels here. You didn't need to know all that. Yeah, but that's how people get caught. And that's why those Ethiopia sisters, they're all the same shape. And you see now how they're moving back and forth because they're playing with spell work in space. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Qigong back and forth, hella disgusting and delusional. People are talking about this all up and down in Apple. They're not doing shit, I promise you. I promise you. Right? Right. I promise you. Anything that they say is new, it's like two or three people using it and it's internal and it doesn't work and it's from space and no one else has it. So ask how many people have used this. The internet's hella dull because they start to miss shit. Good, leave people of color alone and stop playing with those kids. So now what's gonna end up happening? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm just gonna sit here and keep playing with you until you keep on playing with me. Because you already know you're getting shot at. Thank you. Yeah, Red Wine Floods, Portuguese Town. Woo, this is messy as hell. Water Warfare 2, Water Warfare and Divination Channel. And somebody got warned because they were playing with like wine in the cartel. But also too, there's a specific type of like, you heard about Vita Near. There's a flower that makes red wine. There was a type of hibiscus plant that makes red wine. You just ferment her. She doesn't exist on the planet anymore. They've been tried that. They were playing games with the high priestess and her vagina. So we're going into the garden, drinking red wine, because it's like a specific like uterus that you have, a red wine uterus, grapes, and it releases a certain serum that can give you your body back. And they went to go play. So some bitch go play. So all the red wine is gone. So that's what you get. So good. It's going to be a shortage of red wine for a long time. Good. Why won't you just fucking stop? So anyways, you guys, I'm going to finish that Pisces reading. And that's all I have to say.